All right. From what I learned from this Christian religion, and it might be in a lot of religions or more than just Christian religion, is that apparently giving yourself over to Christ is becoming the bread of Christ because Jesus supposedly represents himself as the bread of life. Now, the bread of life is something you can eat, bread or whatever. The bread is something you can eat, or it could be money, or it could be something else, something exchangeable, so that you can, keep income or some shit. I don't know, but the bread can be anything. It could be spiritual. It could be physical. They say every word you live by, every word that comes out of God's mouth. That means God is non-stop talking, 24 hours a day, even in his sleep or whatever. And to me, that seems insane. And we got 9 billion people on the planet. Uh, and we're all we're communicating, we're talking, and you can say people communicate 24 hours a day. But if there's one God, he's constantly talking 24 hours a day. And if we're all of God or part of God, then you can justify saying that since the world never really sleeps, because somewhere in the world somebody's awake. So they're constant. The world never sleeps and they never talk. I mean, it's always talking. So I guess is a way to put it. But I'm tripping out that uh, Christianity may be a vampiric religion, and all the other religions may be based on that as well. They might be an offshoot. They might be another investment in, you failing to live up to your, religion, and in that way you sin. So you have to rely on a savior of some sort, or condemn yourself, or get condemned to death or purgatory or what the hell it is. And one of the big things about Christianity is that since Jesus is the headstone of it, I guess he's the God of it because it's got Christ in it. Now you don't know his real name, but it's a name that you could use to say that no, he's God, which I'm not agreeing with. I mean, he's not God. He died, so and he might have been raised, and he might have a body, and that might be some sort of contract that he made with Satan or somebody else. And Satan could be a vampire. I mean, if Christianity is a vampiric religion, I got my head drank from. So when I got shot in the head and beat for half an hour and a whole bunch of other fucked up shit, and brought back, I had my head drank from by Colbert, and he's supposed to be one of my Christ, or he's supposed to be the son of his God, or some shit like that. And I'm supposed to be like completely absent and oblivious to apparently my God, if I did have one. I'm not. So with that being said, apparently I've been introduced to the fact that Christianity is real, that there's people that can shapeshift and transform, that can access their abilities somehow. And you might be subject to them because somehow there might be an arrangement made that goes way back that you won't know anything about because you were born into ignorance. And since your parents can't talk about it, you won't know anything about it. And since I'm saying this and it's probably classified, it's probably off limits, it's probably something taboo to say, and it's probably blasphemy in a way because uh, why has no one ever seen or talked to God? But you can actually hear voices in your head. And those could be spirits that have been captured. They could be angels. They could be anything. They could be demons. I mean, why do psychologists ask people, do you hear voices that tell you to do they tell you to do bad things? Because they're acknowledging the fact that it exists, but somehow they acknowledge the fact that it doesn't exist by throwing a person in an insane asylum, throwing them in jail, or some other shit, but it's based on this Christian religion. And another thing is, if you were a vampire, and you were able to, say, for example, change forms and all this other shit, then there's a good chance you know how to manipulate how you work or something like that. Because if you're a doctor, you could probably save lives. to the degree of how you know how the human body works. So that would suggest that the vampires, or whatever you want to call it, white people, black people, Mexican people, all with the holy grail of the cup of blood, uh, who've all participated in this, may have been educated or come together and got educated to the point where they were able to do what they able to do, like shapeshift, uh, probably harvest souls. They might have actually gotten this technology from aliens or some shit. You never know. Aliens were spoke of in the Bible, so there's some legitimacy there. But at the same time, like at the same time, how do you say? That's one of the ways they hide it, I guess, is by calling people aliens when they're outside of the country and from outside the country, and they come into the country. So you could say that's reflecting the reality that there's an alien, it's an illegal alien, and then you got aliens in the sky. So that could be a misdirect on how you're supposed to see shit. But the ancient Mayans supposedly used to look up to the sky. The Egyptian may have looked to the sky, but you never get a chance to look in the pyramid to see it. So since you never traveled to Egypt, and whatever pyramids were created, they might actually have that evidence as well. They got a lot of shit in Hollywood reflecting this. So again, including Independence Day, which could also be a testament of this. And I guess if you can harvest people's souls, you could probably make them work for you. So you're hearing these voices. There's a good chance that they're tools used to either edify, harm, whatever craft they were good at. You could say that that's something that could be used to argue that they could be used to, let's say, manipulate people to do the same things they were doing. You got murderers out here who are trying to get some of them back. You got people out here pushing people until they snap, and you got all this stress of not being able to succeed because you literally see that people are doing really well. You literally see that people are doing really poorly, and there's a whole bunch in between. And if you're at the bottom, it's really hard for you to get by. But you got government programs, you got other programs that try to help you, and that could also be part of the psychology used to keep you in this state of confusion when truth is, and it's kind of like this world doesn't really give a shit about you. And if the world doesn't give a shit about you, a good way to get people to side with you or draw people towards you is to act like you care about them and actually help them out a little bit. And in the end, it may cost you everything you ever had, or it might get you saved or some shit. I don't know, but it's all a guessing game. And you got people out there that are really wealthy who start wars, and they might be edified by something, but they start wars to get more wealth and to secure land for people that have alliance with them, so that, or some sort of allegiance with them once they establish a new country, so that they can reinforce their ideas. So if I wanted Christianity to go around the world, a good way to do it is probably try to take over the world and then somehow implant it in the world some way. Or you can go send people who do really good things, and in the guise of possibly having you fed to a vampire in the end. And it's just a whole bunch of crazy shit. But I guess I'm not really supposed to be talking about it because it's forbidden, taboo, and I'm supposed to be like afraid. But I guess it works.